What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Dan Stephen here with another video. This time something different, Stephen.
Yeah, we're going to do a bit of a football video, as you could probably tell from the title of the video. We
Stephen
haven't really
massive-
done a football video in a while. I know you were doing a couple of like sort of Premier League best bits and stuff on the channel, but we're obviously massive football fans, so we thought we'd put up a football one.
Yeah. We're massive football fans, and we literally have like one or two videos about football on the channel, so I thought, fuck it, since the Premier League's coming back in 10 days, we should really do a video. So this video, obviously, you guess from the title, is going to be the best player from every Premier League club. So we're going to go from start to finish, take alphabetical order, and go through every single team and pick our favourite player, or probably the best player from that team. Give our opinions on it and why we picked that player.
Be interesting to see. A lot of them will be really obvious, but then it gets into the lower teams, and the problem with that there is I don't watch an awful lot of Brighton, for example. So it's hard. So
I thought that was your second club.
No, I don't watch an awful lot of some of those teams. So sometimes you're kind of going, fuck, who is the best player? And then you just look at the stats and go, right,
exactly.
You know?
Yeah, because we're going to give our players based on like when we watch like Brighton or Norwich. I'm sure there's going to be Norwich fans probably watch this going, how the fuck did you pick him? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we're going to pick him based on like what we think, and if we're wrong, then let us know in the comments below, because we probably are wrong.
I don't know if you can be wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if we say like for Arsenal, best player David Luiz, we're wrong.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's Socrates.
Yeah. So we'll start with Arsenal. I think this is going to be the easy one for me. It has to be Aubameyang.
Yeah, hands down.
He's
one of the best players in the league, to be honest.
He's one of the best players. He's probably one of the best strikers in the world, hands down.
Yeah.
Regardless, even in the Premiership and even in Arsenal, in the world, he's one of the best. Like, his goal ratios speak for themselves. He scores 20 plus 25 goals a season for the last like 10 years now, and it's a player that I've always wanted Man United to sign.
It's interesting in the sense that he hasn't signed a new contract with Arsenal, so it's possible that he could go this summer, but obviously transfers are all up in the air at the minute. But yeah, hands down, he's definitely Arsenal's best player. Yeah.
So Aston Villa next.
I think that's another one that's kind of obvious for me anyway.
Jack Grealish.
Jack Grealish, yeah. Oh, the only other player I debated was McGinn.
Yes, John McGinn.
But he got injured.
And
he hadn't seen him play anyway.
No, 100%. I had John McGinn down there just to throw a wee comment in, because I think Aston Villa had a good start to the season, and then I think they started tailing away, and I think that kind of coincides with John McGinn being injured. But I do think Jack Grealish is obviously their captain, and he's the player most linked to leave the club. So, and he's the player Sky Sports talk about so much. So all of our attention is obviously drawn towards Jack Grealish when he plays. And being United fans, he's been linked with United for a while now. I think he probably will make the move regardless if Aston Villa stay up.
But Grealish is hands down their best player. I think every Villa fan would also say that.
So next team, Bournemouth, is going to be a bit tricky.
I choose Callum Wilson.
I
chose Callum Wilson. I think it was a safe choice because he's usually their top goal scorer. He's their main man.
Yeah.
Their centre back Ake is a good player.
That's who I picked. So my choice was Nathan Ake, just because I had Callum Wilson down and I like him, but he's went on a goal drought the last like 15 games. He's only scored 1 goal in 15 games for Bournemouth. He is really talented, but part of me just like he's not that consistent enough. Why Nathan Ake is just like every game, every time I see him play. But yeah, I personally picked Nathan Ake. But you think Callum Wilson?
I think Nathan Ake's class, but if Bournemouth were to lose someone, I don't know, maybe if they lost Callum Wilson, because getting a goal scorer is so hard to find.
Yeah.
If they lost Callum Wilson, I think they might suffer more.
So next is Brighton.
Brighton was also one that was a really hard one for me, like, because it's a team that, again, I don't watch that much. I went for their striker, Mupay, I think you call him. He's on 8 goals this year.
Yeah.
And again, it's a case of me not really watching Brighton that much, looking at the stats, going, right, their centre forward must be their best player.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Glenn Murray.
just trying to name any Brighton player. Who else plays with him? I think I went for Lewis Dunk, just because whenever I watch him play, he's quite consistent. He's really strong. He's really mobile for a defender. And I think over the last 3 seasons since Brighton's been in the Premiership, he's showed to be a typical or a good standard Premier League player. Is he the best defender in the league? No. Nowhere near it, but I think he is a good quality, and if Brighton get relegated, there would be some Premiership clubs taking him. So next is Burnley. This is going to be a bit tricky in it, I think, because
Burnley's similar. I don't think they really have a standout player.
Yeah. I know.
Chris Wood, probably.
Yeah, I think with Burnley, there's a lot of good players. Like, I would shout out for Jeff Hendrick, again, being biased because I'm Irish. But I think Jeff Hendrick, when he actually came onto the scene, he came on the Irish team, he was really prominent. It was like, he's going to be a really good midfielder. But I don't know if he hasn't really developed that well, or being at Burnley, which are a more defensive club, he's been quite restricted in his his playing style. But I like him. But the player I had to go for, just based on this season and in the last few seasons for Southampton, was probably Jay Rodriguez.
Jay Rodriguez. See, for me, Jay Rodriguez is always a threat whenever United play him. Mm-hmm. But whenever United go, so is Chris Wood. Though he always fucking scores against us.
He's a big lad.
That's kind of why I went with Chris Wood, is because he's always a threat. Whenever we play him, you know the ball's going to go up front, and you know it's going to be Chris Wood on the end of it. And it's like it's so simple, but it just sums Burnley up.
No, 100%. I think Chris Wood's really good, especially being that lone striker, and he fits Burnley down to a T. But I think Jay Rodriguez, because he's first of all, he's super talented. He had a bad injury during Southampton, and he went to West Brom. And he did okay, but I think he's really he surprised a lot of people going to Burnley, and he actually is playing really well. Somehow he's given a free roaming position, so I think you're seeing the best of him. Like, he's seen the goal he scored at Old Trafford when they beat us 2-0. So he's really talented. I'll just go for him, but I can see why you picked Chris Wood. So next is Chelsea.
Chelsea, do you know what, mate? This is something that I found really weird with the Chelsea one.
Yeah.
I was looking at their squad and I was just like, I really don't think their squad's that good. Like,
I don't think they have, like, usually they have that one man. They have a Drogba, they have like a Frank Lampard, like a Costa or Hazard. But this season, which surprised me, they don't have that standout player. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe Chelsea fans are going to slap us about this, but I don't think there's a standout player, which I think sometimes is a good thing, because their team's all like on the same level.
Yeah.
And they're doing really well, especially with the transfer ban and obviously Frank Lampard's first time managing the Premiership. But I think it's an obvious choice for me. It's Kante.
Yeah, I went Kante as well. It was hard though because he hasn't played an awful lot this season.
No.
It was either going to be Kante or William.
Yeah, William. But William hasn't played that much as well this season.
Yeah, but I went Kante because I genuinely think Chelsea don't play him right. I don't know what the fuck's going on. He's the best defensive midfield player in my opinion, probably in Europe, and he doesn't play defensive midfield.
Does he play?
They keep playing him like left or right of a three, or like, and he's the one that goes forward because they put what do you call Jorginho in that holding, in that like role right in front of the defender.
He's really,
that's where Kante should be playing.
Yeah, he's really good as well. And I was surprised when he came in on their salary last season. I was questioning him because they moved Kante out of that position. I'm like, why, who's this guy coming and taking Kante's position? As you said, the best defensive midfielder in the world probably. But I actually have been surprised how good he is. Yeah. But I want to give a shout out to Tammy Abraham. I think he's come on leaps and bounds this season. And I think it's one of these things because I've been a fan of Tammy Abraham because I always bought him in Pro Evo. Like, he's always really young. And he's always really, really highly rated, and I always buy him because he's quite cheap. But I think he's brilliant this season, and he's one of the top goal scorers in the Premiership in his first season in the Premier League. So
it's impressive.
He's only going to get better. But the bad thing, they recently just bought Werner, so I don't know how that's going to hamper Tammy Abraham's performance or his time on the field. So it'd be interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see what happens next year under him. Well, next is going to be Crystal Palace, and again, I think this is going to be quite easy.
Let's just move on.
Christian Benteke.
Yeah.
Wilfried Zaha. Wilfried Zaha for like United fans is almost like the one that got away because for getting him such a young age, and then somehow, and people say he failed at United. I don't think he got on that much to fail. Like he wasn't given that much time on the field to actually say he was a bad signing. But maybe in the training ground he was not good. That's why he didn't get picked. So maybe he was a failed signing. But he's a person, when I look back in is like since the Fergie era, there's only a few players I thought we sold prematurely. Memphis Depay and Wilfried Zaha is one of them because I think he's ridiculously good. He single-handedly keeps Crystal Palace up every season. Yeah,
there's no arguments that I didn't even put down another name. Like, he's a standout their best player. I'm surprised how they've managed to hold on to him as long as they have, but he will go a fine.
But do you think a lot of people were put off banning because what happened at Man United? Because he went to a big club, and it's like, can he actually hack it at a big club? You hear the saying a lot, a big fish in a small pond. No disrespect to Crystal Palace, but he's their talisman. Like, he can do no wrong. He can play 10 games and play horrible, but the fans are still backing him. He goes to Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool and plays 10 bad games. The fans will turn on him eventually.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, but I don't think there's any argument with Zaha being Crystal Palace.
Amazing. So next is Everton, which I think is quite tricky.
I like Richarlison, that's who I went with, but I was actually going to go with Calvert-Lewin because he looks such a threat. Whenever anytime United play him, The last time we played against us, he was class.
He scored that goal.
Really, really good. Everton's a weird one as well, because I look at their squad and they've spent so much money, but I actually just don't think they're that good. Like, do you think as well, going through this, that the quality of squads in the Premier League, I was just like looking at this going, it's not actually that good.
No, I found it harder than I thought when I was going through these teams. I thought one person's always going to stick out, and I thought Everton was one of the hardest because I had 3 names down. I have Keane down, which is obviously their striker they bought from Juventus, who I was so jealous when they bought him, because I always obviously base things on like Football Manager or Pro Evo. So Pro Evo, he was always ridiculously good, and he's only like 19 when they bought him. So whenever he made the move to Everton, I was like, no way, they got a proven goal scorer, and he's so athletic and he's so strong, like, and he's only 19. That's a 30 million quid well spent, and he's only scored 1 goal a season. Obviously, Everton have been hit and miss this season, so you can't really blame it on him. But obviously, a 19-year-old moving to a different country and all too, so I'll give him the bye ball, I'll give him another season to get into it. But I really like him, but I can't really pick him because he obviously hasn't.
No, he hasn't done anything.
Andre Gomez, would you not call it?
He's Andre Gomez is a good player. Yeah. I think he obviously had a terrible injury, which kind of sort of derailed him. He came back very quick from that.
He came back within a week.
Yeah, but I think their biggest asset seems to be Richarlison.
He does.
Like, I think if they're going to sell someone, it's going to be him, and he's going to get a lot of money.
Yeah.
I think he's a bit inconsistent, and I also think with Richarlison, I don't really know what position he plays, because they play him as a centre forward, but he's kind of similar to maybe like a Rashford or a Martial in that way. It's like, is he a centre forward, a left winger, a right winger? Like, what is he? You know, and I don't think he's kind of nailed that down, but I do think he's probably their most talented player.
He's super talented, and you even seen it this summer or that January there, where Barcelona offered like 60 million quid for him, and they actually rejected it. So I think that says it all. It says it all about Everton and where they're going in the future, getting like Ancelotti and rejecting 60 million quid from Barcelona. So I think he's really good, and hopefully he kicks on this season. So next is Leicester City. I think this is quite straightforward again, just because the hype around him. James Maddison.
I didn't go with Maddison, but I do like him.
Okay.
I think Ndidi's absolutely amazing.
He is. No, Ndidi's class.
I would love United to sign Ndidi. Maddison is class, and he's got a lot of potential. I do think he's dropped off recently though. The last couple of months of the season, he wasn't as good as he was at the start, and I think he's just young.
Yeah.
But Ndidi for me I just think he's 8 out of 10 every single game he plays.
But I've
never seen him play bad.
But I think with James Maddison fall off kind of coincides with Leicester falling off, because Leicester are blown obviously challenging for the title, and now they're actually struggling to keep in the top 4.
Yeah, possibly, and I wouldn't dispute the fact that he's not a brilliant player. What about Jamie Vardy?
Jamie Vardy is one he's so consistent, and he's been consistent since the day he came in the Premier League, to be fair. I was going to pick him, but I just think something like James Maddison's a wee bit special. Like, he can change the game of a drop of a hat. Jamie Vardy can do that, but I think James Maddison, that young age, he's only going to get better. I think if he gets to move to a bigger club, no disrespect to Leicester again, but there's rumours of him coming to United and going to Chelsea or something. If he makes that step up and can do it at a big stage, like, he's going to be phenomenal. The next team on this list, I think we should just skip, because there's no good players play for him. Liverpool.
Liverpool might be an interesting conversation, actually.
I think it is. Who'd you go for?
I went for Trent Alexander-Arnold, mate.
Serious? Surprising.
I'm going to justify it because I think he's fucking amazing, first of all, right? And Mane's amazing, right? Van Dijk's fucking amazing. But for me, Trent Alexander-Arnold has changed the right back position. Like, he's had more influence on that team, in my opinion, than even a Van Dijk, because most of the goals come from Robertson and Trent. Yeah. It's like, if you took Van Dijk out of that team, right, it would suffer, right? He's amazing. I'm not even saying he's not, right? But whenever Trent Alexander-Arnold doesn't play, they're nowhere near as good. Like, they have to change the way they actually play football. He's got problems defensively.
Yeah, that's my problem.
He doesn't even need to rectify that.
That's my problem with Alexander-Arnold. Attackingly, he's probably the best attacking fullback in the world. Based on ability, he's the best effect. Like, I can't see anyone really disputing that, because he is phenomenal, and the way he hits a ball, the way he crosses the ball is like dangerous. Like, every cross is always in the 6-yard box. Every cross is so direct, and it's like he doesn't cross the ball half-heartedly. Like, he whips that ball in every time, and it's frightening. Every time we play him, he's the person I'm like, shit, don't let him cross it.
Yeah.
But on the flip side out there, I do think he is not great defensively. I think when teams get at Liverpool, there hasn't been many this season because they've fucking won every game practically. I do think he's questionable, and every time I watch him, like, he is so dangerous going forward. but he's so culpable when you're going at him defensively. If you have a decent player going at him, and if you have him a wee bit stressed, he looks like he's all over the place. But he makes up for it because he's so good attacking. So I'm not going to slag him off in that sense. But that's why I didn't pick him. I didn't pick Van Dijk because I don't think Liverpool have really had that any threat against them this season. The player I picked was Sadio Mane. I think he is just... He's lethal. Yeah, he was lethal at Southampton. Like, he was ridiculously good at Southampton, and he moved to Liverpool, and he's got even better. Like, he's made that transition so effortlessly to the point where he actually is a far better player now than he was there. He's making playing for Liverpool look so much easier, and then he's so underrated as well. Even though everyone talks to him, but he's so good. Like, he can win games whenever he wants. Like, he can win games drop of a hat. He can skin a pitch. He can outrun someone. His finishing is questionable. He does miss a lot of chances, but I think this season in particular, he's improved upon that there, because every time he gets a chance, he scores. I think he's their top goal scorer. He scored more goals than Salah and Firmino combined.
The reason why I wouldn't have went with Van Dijk is because I know we've got Aubameyang and Aguero, but I would love to see Van Dijk up against a Van Nistelrooy, an Henry, a Shearer, like the great strike. I don't think the Premier League for strikers this season is that good.
Probably, yeah.
Like, I think we're missing a lot of great strikers.
Yeah.
But it's not to take anything away. He's obviously amazing. But it's like,
frightening amazing.
I just don't know like who's testing him.
Yeah, maybe. The next team is going to be Man City. I thought Man City was a hard one, but I'm picking Raheem Sterling. I think Raheem Sterling is and this is maybe a controversial statement. He's probably the most underrated player in the Premier League in the last decade. I think no one talks about him that much. His goals, scoring ability, his assists, his all-round play. Like, the amount of managers he's playing under, and he just gets even better. He's under Guardiola, and he's scoring 20 plus goals every season now.
Yeah,
he's winning leagues after leagues. He's competing in the Champions League, and he, like, from being labelled a flop when he first went to Man City, I think he's come leaps and bounds.
I think he's class. There's no doubt about it. For me, I think Man City's best player is De Bruyne.
Yeah.
I think he's arguably the best midfielder in the world. He's amazing. Like, he's just so. There's nothing else I can say about him other than, and you can tell the way other people talk about him.
Yeah.
It reminds me of when people used to talk about Scholes, when like other players and other pundits talk about De Bruyne. They're like, he's just doing things that we can't do. He's just doing things that you don't see.
Yeah.
Like the goals he scores, his assists. It's like, even if he has a bad game for him is still like 2 assists. It's crazy. It's like, you could watch him, but like, he's not really doing much. And it ends 4-0 City. And like De Bruyne, he wasn't great there, was he? 4-0 City, 3 assists by De Bruyne, and you're like, maybe he was great actually. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I just think he's the best midfielder in the league. Right? This is being an interesting one. So United.
Man United. So this is gonna be a tough one.
It was really hard for me as well because again, when I was looking at the squad, and it's hard because I like all our players, but we're just not what we used to be like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We're just not like. There's no Giggs, Scholes, like the names that you would call out, Van Nistelrooy. Like, unfortunately for me, I'm like, fuck. We are where we are for a reason because our squad actually isn't that great.
Recruitment's been poor since Fergie. So who did you pick?
I wanted to go with Bruno Fernandes, but I couldn't because
he's only been there like
he's not been there long. Yeah. I went with Martial.
Martial?
The reason why is because
I think we're disagreeing.
He's my favourite player. Right? He's like, you already know, like, Martial's my favourite player. I think wouldn't dispute the fact that I think he maybe sums up United as well. Because he is inconsistent at times, but we're so fucking inconsistent.
Yeah.
And I think talent wise, I think he has everything to be like one of the best players in the world. But he just hasn't quite got there yet. But I still love watching him play.
But with Martial, it's like, what side of the bed is he going to get up on? Is he going to get on the good side or the bad side? And I feel like he has all the ability to be the best player in the league, or best player in his team by far. But there's the mental state of having that there. But saying that, the last 5-6 games of the season before it actually was postponed, he answered all my criticism. Like, he was strong, he was a proper centre forward, he got big goals in big games against Chelsea, against Man City, he was consistent, and he was on the verge of breaking his own record. So I get why you picked him, but I just think he doesn't come close to Marcus Rashford. I picked 2. I put Pogba down just because Pogba, based on ability, he's the best. Everyone knows that. He's my best player by far in terms of what he can do and just his ability in general, like what he does.
I'm hoping Bruno maybe takes that mantle.
Probably, yeah, but I think Pogba, based on ability, is the best United player. No, I no one would question that. But I think just Marcus Rashford is the best player because he's been doing it throughout the season, and every season since he came through, he's been even better. Like this season, he scored like 19 goals in 34 appearances. Like, come on, that's ridiculous for a team that's actually struggling.
Yeah, I know he's fast.
But agree to disagree.
Fair enough.
Next one's going to be
next one.
It's going to be the hardest one probably. Newcastle.
Fuck, Newcastle are shite.
Skip. Here,
I want John Joe Shelby.
You can't slag him off now. Though we fucking win the leagues in the next few years after all the investments. Yeah, you want
John Joe Shelby.
John Shelby. He's good, but I don't think he's been played that much, especially under Steve Bruce. So that's why I didn't pick him. And they've been surprisingly good under Steve Bruce. A lot of people were criticising when he first took the job, but I actually went for Sean Longstaff. Maybe I'm being biased because he was like United over the summer, so I kind of paid a bit more attention to him in terms of like watching him when he plays against the big teams. Every time I watch him, like, he's fucking great. Like, he is really talented. Now I can see why they rejected like 20 million quid from him. Because he's going to be a great player next few seasons. He's almost like for me, he's more a more mobile Declan Rice. But Newcastle was tough enough as well. But I go Sean.
They're a bad squad. Like.
Sean Longstaff, and you went for John Joe Shelby. So next is Norwich City.
I didn't find this that hard, to be honest.
You went for Pukin?
No, I went for Campbell.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's fucking class. I think he's going to be someone that someone will sign him. Like, anytime I ever watch him play, he's so skillful. Like, whenever you watch him, you're like, you play for Norwich?
Yeah, true.
And you don't even realise he doesn't get any plaudits. He doesn't get anything. But I think Norwich fans really like him.
Yeah.
But his first touch, his ability, even to hold up the ball, skin someone. I'm like, and he's really slight as well. He's really skinny, and I think he's really young. I think he's going to be a smashing wee player.
Yeah.
I was going to go with Pookie, but then he fell off.
I went for Max Aarons, the right back.
Right back. He's a good player.
He is really talented. I think once Norwich get relegated, because it seems like they're going to get relegated regardless what happens, I think I saw Premier League clubs will snap him up like a big club. I think he's going to go to the top 6 club next season probably. He's so good. He's almost like I'm not saying he's a lesser Wan-Bissaka, but he's very similar. Like defensively, he's fucking formidable. Like no one can really get past him. But he's also really good at going forward, with something Aaron Wan-Bissaka actually lacks. Sheffield United next.
Sheffield United are the weirdest team in the world because on paper their squad is fucking shite.
It is. It's really bad. I don't want to be disrespectful to Sheffield United fans because I'm sure they can point out 4 or 5 players that are really good. But if you're just looking at the teams on the sheet, there's no one really stands out. I think the person I went for Ollie McBurney.
I went for John Flack, and I actually don't even know why. I went for this list.
Ollie McBurney, I think he's dangerous. He's a big centre forward. He has a great touch on him. He has a really good finish. He's not mobile. That's the only bad thing about him. He looks quite awkward. He almost looks like a centre back playing up front.
Yeah, it's weird. Like the team, they're doing amazing. Though I'm not saying they're not.
Yeah.
But their squad, it's just how ugly their manager is.
I know. I think for a wee shout out, I would go for Oliver Norwood. Just because he's from here, he's from Belfast, and he's also obviously a Next United Academy player. I've always liked him when he came for the academy, the reserves. When I was watching him, he just was never good enough to make the first team. But he looks like he's found his a good place at Sheffield United.
It's interesting that if Norwich gets relegated, or one of those teams at the bottom, you always think of the 1 or 2 players who the teams are going to snap up.
Yeah.
But if Sheffield, who are like fucking 5th, if they got relegated, or they're 7th for something, if they got relegated, I still don't know who would sign their players.
Yeah. So next is going to be Southampton, which again, I don't think it's. I
thought this one was easy.
I thought it was easy, but it's only easy based on this season.
Well, who are you thinking?
Danny Ings?
Nah, not for me.
Oh, okay.
I would Ward-Prowse. I think Ward-Prowse is a class wee player.
Yeah, he is good, but I don't think he's that consistent. You know.
See, I don't watch him enough to know that, but anytime I ever see him play, he's class on corners. He's class on free kicks. His passing is brilliant, and I'm like, he's a really good player. And I think Danny Ings is a great striker, and they're lucky to have him, but he's injured all the fucking time, and like he's not reliable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you don't know if he's going to be there next week.
Right, next on this is going to be Spurs, and I think I can guess your pick.
Go for it.
Son.
Yes, I think he's class. I was going to go with Keane, obviously.
Easy
Keane's
choice,
fucking incredible. But I just think Son is fucking next level good. Like I don't know what it is. Every time I ever watch him play, there's nothing he can't do.
Yeah.
If you put him in that Liverpool team or that City team, fuck me.
He wouldn't look out of place.
It's so hard with Spurs because they're all over the place this year, and they're so dysfunctional, and they don't even have a style of play, and they've got the Mourinho that we had, which is fucking hilarious. But it's like So Son still looks good, and it's like if you took him out of that team and put him in a team like City, he would be fucking outstanding.
But in terms of overall play, I think Son is probably the most talented player. But I look at it, if I was able to pick one person from Spurs and put him in United, who would I want? And Son is amazing. It has to be Harry Kane, because it's so hard to buy a 30 goal striker this season nowadays, because every striker's like scored like 15 goals and fucking there's like no real centre forward anymore. Like for him, he's just like a classic 90s Premier League centre forward. He's almost like a Alan Shearer, but he's really, really talented in terms of his hold up play, his build up play. It's actually his dribbling. He's actually really good with the ball and getting past players and finding space. And what can you say about his finishing? Like, he's probably the best finisher in the league. Yeah, so I think, and he's 25 still. So I think he's gonna get better. And I do, even though I don't hate Spurs, but I think Harry Kane needs to move on now. And I love to see what he does. I love him to go obviously I love him to go to United, but I love him to go like to Real Madrid to see what happens. Like, put him in a big team like Galacticos and see what happens. Like, I just love to see that. I think if you put him anywhere, Championship, Premier League, La Liga, Italian League, he's gonna score 25 goals easy every season. Next one, Watford. I think this is quite tough, because I don't think there's, again, a standout player. There's a few, but I don't think there's many who are that consistent. Based on ability, I think Deulofeu.
Yeah,
I think he is just ridiculously talented. But similar to Martial, what side of the bed he's going to get out on? He's going to get out the good side or the bad side?
I think him or Decore is another one that I was going to go with.
Who did you go for?
I went with Deulofeu because I think he's their match winner. I think he's similar to Saha with Palace. He's obviously not as good as Saha, but they would really miss him. With Decore, I liked him when he played more defensively, but under Nigel Pearson, he seemed to be playing him like behind the striker, which is weird to me.
Yeah,
he's such a big guy. He's not really that mobile.
Yeah,
and he's playing right behind the striker. I think he's very, very talented, but Deulofeu, I just think he's the best player, and I think probably their fans would be fucking gutted if he left. Like,
and Troy Deeney, which I think he's been so consistent. Good. He's not like a 20 goal a season striker, but it's all around mental ability to drag Watford from, like, to be fair, being a relegation team to obviously finishing mid-table apart from this season. Like, you look at players in big games and how they actually perform, and do they kind of shrink down when it's like a big club, but like Troy Deeney's like, the bigger the game, the better he plays, and that's why I love him. Yeah. This next one, I think it was
West Ham, was it?
West Ham, yeah. West Ham annoy me. They annoy me too so much, because they're such a good club, and I always had so much respect for them. I always hated playing Upton Park, that atmosphere. Yeah. But since they actually moved to the Olympic Stadium, I feel like they're a different club now. I always feel like they're not really run well. They're constantly second manager. Yes.
For me, I agree. I hate. I don't know what it is. They're just not a force anymore. Mm-hmm. They never really were, I suppose. But I like Diop. I like their centre back. I think he's good player.
He's really good, and he's really young as well.
Yeah, I think he, for me, is arguably their best player. And United were linked with signing him. It was one of those ones when we were linked, I was like, what the fuck? And then I watched them play and go, yeah, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Same here. No, he's really good. But I have to go for Anderson. Even in that poor West Ham team, he always shines, and he'll get by you, and he can create, he can score goals. And it's one of the things, like, if he was playing for like a better club, even if he's playing for Man United or like Man City and all too, you would see his real potential. Yeah. I think he is on sheet by their best, most talented player. Last team on the list is going to be Wolves, who...
It's a hard one too.
Hard one again, very similar to I would say Sheffield United. They're doing so well, but there's no one standout player. They're all just really good together. I would go for Raul Jimenez, just because he scores goals. He's scored like 20 something goals this season already. All competition. He's lethal, and I think if he was a couple of years younger, he would get a big move. But he's coming
28, 30. I think, isn't it?
He's coming 30. No, he's 29. I think he's coming 30 this year. For Wolves, he's exceptional. Every time he plays against United, he's always a threat.
Yeah, no, I agree. I did go with him, but there was two other players that I nearly went with. I nearly went with Traore, because he's a fucking beast.
He's really quick and really strong. I get that, but I don't think his end product and his overall style is that good. But he is good. He is good.
Another one I was going to mention was Connor Cody. I think he's fucking class, and he's their captain. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he's kind of underrated. I don't think he's fucking the best defender in the league or anything, but I just think he really fits the team well. But yeah, for me, Jimenez would be their best player.
But another shout out I would give Jan Mortinho.
Yeah, he's a good player,
and he's been so consistent since Sporting Lisbon, Porto, even moving to Monaco. But it's a surprise move going to Wolves, but it's a good decision, because Obviously, top 7 last few seasons anyway. Like, but I'm glad I'm seeing him in the Premiership, and I'm glad people are seeing his real talent.
Well, that's us, mate.
That was our list anyway. Yeah, that was apart from the Man United one. Well, that was our list anyway. If you agree or disagree with us, let us know in the comments below. And if anyone's we missed a shout out, then let us know. And yeah, let us know.
Cheers. Peace out.
Let us know. Let us know.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching the video. Please like, comment and subscribe. Just to let you know, we've got similar content available on the channel if you want to check it out.
We also do our own podcast called MCPodcasting, where we cover a range of topics from politics, sports and even movies.
We basically just talk a lot of shit.
We argue a lot as well on it there, but all the links are below. We're on all major platforms, Spotify, iTunes, and is there any other?
That's the main ones, yeah.
Yeah, the main ones.
Just check out the podcast, and if there's any sort of videos you want us to react to, drop us a comment on the YouTube videos, and we'll be sure to check it out.
Or if you want to make fun of us, then go ahead. We don't care.
Be nice.
Be nice.
In fairness, we don't really get that many comments.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Stop looking at me.
Okay.